welcome at Twende Shule, the project that offer an online teaching in various subjects. So we continue with our history subject, the fourth topic in Form 4, about Africa in international affairs. So in the previous lesson, we discussed about Organization of African Unity that was formed on the date of 25th May 1963. The objective of forming the Organization of African Unity was transformed into another organization that replaced it from 2002. Therefore, today we are going to see, or we are going to study about African Union, the formation of African Union. Shortly, I can say the formation of African Union was the result of transformation of Organization of African Unity. So, formation of African Union was the replacement of the Organization of African Unity. Maybe due to its failure, or the Organization of African Unity was outdated. That's why they decided to form another organization called the African Union. Therefore, African Union is the organization of African country which originally started by the City Declaration of 9th September 1999 during the OAU summit at the town of Sirte in Libya. So the formation of African Union can be traced back since 1999 at the City Summit in Libya, whereby the heads of the independent African states met at Libya to discuss about African issues. Then during that discussion, the then president of Libya, Muammar Gaddafi, proposed for the formation of another organization that would replace OAU, whereby this new organization will have a new structure to cope with the changing world, to cope with the globalized world. Remember, for instance, Organization of African Unity was formed to address the problem of colonialism in Africa, to fight against apartheid policy in South Africa. But colonialism was gone. Apartheid policy was gone. And the other challenges that were addressed by Organization of African Unity, most of the challenges were gone. That's why the then president of Libya, Colonel Muammar Gaddafi, decided or proposed the formation of a new organization that will cope with the changing world. Therefore, Colonel Muammar Gaddafi, the then president of Libya, proposed for the formation of African Union, whereby Colonel Muammar Gaddafi proposed the formation of African Union due to the failure of Organization of African Unity to achieve its objective. Then in the following year, means from 1999, then in the following year, 2000, in Rome, Togo, the African heads of the state adopted the Constitutive Act of the Union. That 1 year later, when another OAU summit was convened at Rome in Togo, the heads of the state of African states adopted the Constitutive Act of the Union. Then when they met for the next time at Lusaka, Zambia, at the Lusaka, Zambia summit in 2001, they gave the final go-ahead to the establishment of OAU. Then in the next year, in 2002, when they met at Durban, South Africa, AU was officially born, replacing OAU. And the first chairman was Thabo Mbeki, the then president of South Africa. But its headquarters remained in Ethiopia, Addis Ababa, where the headquarters for Organization of African Unity was located. So the headquarters for AU, or African Union, remained in Addis Ababa. And the first chairperson of AU was Thabo Mbeki. Remember, the first chairperson of Organization of African Unity, OAU, we said was the Emperor Haile Selassie. But here, the first chairperson of AU was Thabo Mbeki, the then president of South Africa. Therefore, after Muammar Gaddafi proposing the formation of another organization that sometime will take the same role but with a different approach in addressing African problem, in solving social, political, and economic problem of Africa. Now remember, they were no longer struggling against colonialism. They were no longer struggling against apartheid policy. Now they were to tune to a new mode so that they may solve the social, political, and economic problem faced Africa from 1999 or at 20th century. Therefore, the following were the objectives, or are the objective, because OAU is still surviving up to date. So we can say the following are the objectives or goals of AU. What are the goals? What are the objectives of African Union? Why they formed a new organization? Why they replaced the OAU with the AU? Now the following are the objectives. First, to achieve greater unity and solidarity between the African country and the people themselves. So for OAU was to promote African unity and solidarity. But here, to achieve greater unity and solidarity between the African countries and people themselves. Now here they were to advance from the first objective of OAU. Now they were to advance that we need to achieve, or we need to promote greater unity. Yes, we have united at the African continent. Now we need to promote greater unity of the African states, not only African states, but also we need to promote greater unity of the people of Africa. That we people of South Africa, we people of Tanzania, we people of Kenya, we people of Uganda, we people of Nigeria, let us feel proud for being an African. So we must promote greater unity and solidarity among the people themselves. That let us not distinguish them according to their boundary. Remember, these are the artificial boundaries. Why do we distinguish them according to the boundary, according to the territory? So let us make them together. Let us make them live in solidarity as the people of Africa. So people brag themselves by being the Africans, not being Kenyans, not being South Africans, not being Tanzanians. They brag themselves that we are the people of Africa. So they formed the African Union in order to achieve greater unity and solidarity between the African country and the people of Africa. Another objective was to defend sovereignty, territorial integrity, and independence of members, or independence of the member state. So first was to promote sovereignty of the member state, that each member state must be free to exercise its affairs without being interfered by external pressure. That we people of Tanzania, when we want to exercise our social, political, and economic affairs, we don't need interference from Kenya. We don't need interference from South Africa. We don't need interference from Cairo or Egypt. So we must have sovereignty first among the member states, but also territorial integrity, that let us protect our territory. We as Africa, let us protect our territory. Then let us protect our independence. Yes, we were struggling for African states to be independent. Now all African states are independent. How can we promote